Hello, it's Diane here from Stampin' with Diane.typepad.com. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator here in Canada. Last week I did a video and I gave some sneak peeks of the new Stampin' Up! Trimmer. So as promised, I had promised actually to do a video showing some other features of this fantastic trimmer. I think one of the first things that I noticed with this trimmer is it comes in both inches and centimeters. And the beauty of this is, have you ever watched like a tutorial or gotten a tutorial from another demonstrator that is from abroad, like over in Europe or the UK or the South Pacific? And their measurements, they're done in centimeters. And you always have to go in and convert them. And I always find that things aren't quite right and you might be out by a millimeter or something like that. This way, there's no excuse. So when it says 5.5 centimeters, you can just line it up to 5.5 centimeters and then you're going to have a more accurate thing. Actually, the huge thing about this trimmer is I think that all the features really lend to an awful lot more of accuracy and that sort of stuff. So, like I say, let's get started. First of all, it's a lot lighter than the other one. It's narrower than the other one. And it has this opening up at the top. And this is where you could hang it in your studio or your craft room. And just gives you more area for storage. Also, something that you can just grab very, very quickly off of the wall. And there you have it. The one thing I really like about it is this 6-inch mark here. On the other trimmers, it was right up against the edge here. And I found that what was happening was it was kind of by guess and by golly. You'd be kind of looking at it and going, ooh, is that 6 inches? Yep, that looks like that's 6 inches. So this way, they've widened this platform here to give us the 6 inches there as well. It also has, and I don't know if you can see it there, it has this little arrow there. And that gives you the proper lineup for the paper that it's 6 inches. Like I say, I'm going to keep going on and saying that it really tends to an awful lot of the accuracy on there. The extension thing here actually extends to 17 inches. It doesn't need the foot that's on here. There was one on the old trimmer that you had to lift down. Now you don't. You can measure it and there's the stability for when you go and you cut it. It also, when it locks into place here, you just have to push it down and it sets into the little groove that's right there. And when this arm is closed, it also allows you to, and I'm just going to grab a piece here, it allows you to butt right up to the 6-inch mark. I know when I cut 12 by 12 paper, I find that sometimes it goes a little tiny bit crooked. This way, if you have a piece of 12 by 12 paper, you've got it butt right up to the end, and it really helps with that kind of, like I say, back to the accuracy thing. When you open this up here too as well, I noticed here it has even marks that go across here. So you have the continuous measurement across there. And that's really important for that sort of stuff. Then another thing that I've noticed is when you, on the old stampers, or the old trimmers, they had a part here that didn't have these ridges right here. And these ridges, actually, they stop the paper from going up. So if I wanted to take a piece of paper, let's say I want to cut this paper, and I want to cut it 1/8 of an inch. So we can just lock it down, get the scoring blade out of the way. And you can cut it down like that. And then you've got, where it doesn't slide, you've got a nice, small, little, narrow piece like this. So that, like I say, that's a real huge plus. I used to have to use another trimmer to get those kind of finer lines. The cutting guide does snap down, and it makes it so that you can't, the blades don't flip and flop around. But also another thing that's really good about it being down like that. Let's say if it's down, and say we want to cut this piece at 1.5, we can cut it at 1.5, but then I can take this and also line it up again. If this piece was longer, you demonstrate that a little bit better. Actually, I'm going to take that out and we'll do another piece like that. So let's say this, we want to cut this at 1.5 inches. So let's go down, let's say 1.25 inches. Go down like that. And then we can just slide this along here and also go to another 1.25 inches and cut it like so. Oh, and the other thing I forgot to mention is when you're also measuring here, and say you want it at 1.25, these marks here are in 1.25 or in 1/4 inch increments. So you can just get that down like that. So that really helps with, again, like I say, inaccuracy. This part here, and this is called a pressure lip here. When this pressure lip is it's extended out, on the old trimmer it used to be here, and sometimes this cutting blade would get stuck there and it wouldn't go through, and it might like tear a bit of your paper. But the cutting the pressure lip is right there, so you can do it. You're also going to open this up at both ends here. You can open up with this pressure lip here. I just find it's easier to lift it up at this point. Now, talking about the blades. The blades are absolutely amazing. They have here, you can see it's a longer edge, and it gives for a longer cutting edge down into this piece. This piece also doesn't come out like the old trimmer. It's there, it's stuck. There's no more need to replace things like that. So this piece here can cut the forbidden pieces of paper, like glimmer paper. They used to tell us, don't use your trimmer on with your blades because it's going to dull your blades. Well, guess what? This just cuts down and it slices just like butter. It's right like that. So it's awesome for that sort of stuff. I've also heard that it cuts up to 6 pieces of paper. I haven't tried that, but I might go 2 or 3 pieces of cardstock or the lighter cardstock, but I prefer to go in 2 pieces just so that I have more accuracy on my own part, and that's my own human errors that are allotted there. This scoring blade, and I'm going to take this out so you can take a better look at it. And because I'm on camera, it's not going to let me take it off. It's easy, but let's see. There we go. See here, it's actually it's a roller. And the thing about this is it tends to smoother types of scoring. So I'm going to show you this. I'll put it back in. Oops, got to put it in straight or else it's not going to go in there. And this really isn't that difficult. It's me and my fumbly hands. So let's say we want to score this piece of Poppy Parade. So first of all, I want to get it at 5.5 inches. And I purposely did it this way. So I'm going to line this up at 5.5 inches up here. And notice that the 5.5 inch mark also extends down when this extension plate is closed. It also marks down on that line directly down there. Like I say, I just love the way that it's getting rid of any room for errors when you're cutting. So we're just going to cut that down. We're going to have a 5.5, and we're going to score this at 4.25. Take this to there to score. My cutting blade out of the way, and now I'm just going to take my score. And you've noticed I've only done it once. In the past, I used to take my score like this and run it up and down like that. But here, look at the score line. It's a beautiful score line. I can't get over it. I just love this scoring mechanism. The other thing about this scoring blade is DSP sometimes used to tear or get cut. With this roller blade on there, it's not going to tear or cut your DSP. Now, I kind of think that covers, one other thing. This does have a plastic covering on it. You can take your pick tool and you can just lift it off. I've left mine like this for now. It's a little scratched up and that sort of stuff, but it's only the plastic coating. These are really, the marks are not going to fade off like they have done on certain other trimmers. But yeah, so that's the other part there. So the unfortunate part is you can only get this trimmer right now if you're a demonstrator. But you know what? You could get it right now if you did join my team. And you can include it in your starting kit or subsequent orders, that sort of stuff. Or it will be available soon to customers. I don't know the date yet, but they are telling us that it could be as soon as the new year. Maybe it could even be sooner, but we don't know. But I will be sure to let you know as soon as I know. So thanks very much. Thanks for stopping by, and bye for now.